we're going to go really rapid fire here. We're just going to go one guy at a time. We're not all going to explain these positions here. We're looking at the stat superlatives. Who's going to be the best in their stat? And I know this piece is coming out at DawgsHQ later on this week, so we won't have everybody's picks on the show here, but we'll just take one guy. I'll start us off. Leading rusher is Kendall Milton. All right, Palmer, who do you have as the Dogs' leading receiver at the end of the year?
Brock Bowers. I mean, we just put in the bet there. It's an easy pick. Brock Bowers.
Jeremy, leading tackler for the Dogs.
I'm going with Pop, also known as Jamon Dumas Johnson. That's who I'm going with.
All right, sack leader, Rusty.
Why'd you give me that one? Like, why'd you give the old dude the toughest one? Because
you got the experience.
Oh man, that's hard because they spread things out so much, and the linebackers are so involved, and Javon Bullard blitzes. If he gets back in time, it very well could be Smile Monday. I think Jalen Walker is going to play a lot on third down in blitz packages. I don't think Chaz Chandler is going to be that guy just yet. I'll go wild card here, and I don't think somebody's going to have like 6 sacks. That's not the way they're built. They spread this thing out. So I'm going to go Marvin Jones Jr. I think he's going to have a big year for Georgia. I think he can end up with 4 or 5 sacks and kind of be that guy. But I certainly think that Georgia could have multiple players with 3 or 4 sacks. If I see Damon Wilson enough the first 2 weeks, I may come back and edit this. But I got to see him play. I got to see him play between the hedges first before I try to jump on that bandwagon.
I get that. All right, we'll go Snake. So Rusty, you get 2 in a row.
Last year.
Who leads in tackles for loss?
Who's me?
Yeah.
Tackles for loss, man.
Another tough one.
Damn, I mean, can I get like
look, dude, you know the defense, so
tackles for loss. I'll go Nazir Stackhouse.
I like that pick.
Yeah, I'll go Nazir Stackhouse. He's inside there, and a lot of those carries and stuff, those tackles for 1 and 2 yard loss, hell, they count the same.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jeremy, leader in INTs. Who you got?
I'm going to go with Javon Bullard just because I think he'll be around the football a ton. I mean, he's one of those guys that I can just see just catching a couple of that get tipped because he's just got a nose for the football, and I think he'll end up with 3 or 4 by the end of the year.
All right, Palmer, I'm going to make one up for you. Who has the most receiving? Who has the most receiving touchdowns, not just yardage?
I think it's Brock Bowers again.
Oh my gosh!
Rusty would have loved to have my 2 questions.
Yeah. Hey, Palmer, what's 2 plus 2?
All right. How about this one, Palmer? Who's the kicker going to be?
Ooh, that's a better question. I'd go with Jared Zirkle there.
I'll take a pick.
Who you got?
I'll go Peyton Woodry.
All right. We got a little bit of drama here at the end. Let's chop some wood. Rusty, you can start. I know you want to chop wood about Kyrus Jackson, so go ahead and do it.
Oh, man, great. Just one of those things that just, man, that you saw what Kirby said. The players went wild. And listen, Kyrus Jackson was one of those kids that did everything right all the time. From high school, the time I met him early on, and I retweeted something last night. I knew Kyrus Jackson was that dude when he had Bell Biv DeVoe Poison playing at his commitment. I mean, it was blasted. I was like, I'm in the right place right here. And they had a street party. It was great. And good cookout in Fort Valley, Georgia. So, stock up, man, Kyrus. One of my favorite cities in the world, Nashville. And I hope he plays for a long time. But I know his mom and dad. I cannot even imagine the emotions they felt when he called and told them, I'm on the 53, man. And congratulations, man. And that might be the next jersey I purchase.
Man, when you come out of Peach County, that's just a different place in general. They kick off at a different time.
Yep.
It's hard. I mean, that is hard high school football down there, man. So I'm happy to see it too. Covered him as a local news reporter in Macon, and I can't believe that his career lasted as long as it did. Made me feel a little bit older. But congrats to Kearis, man. Awesome stuff. The Titans, I'm just going to say it. The Titans are my AFC team. All right? I was born in Georgia, so I feel like I had to pick the Falcons, unfortunately. But Palmer, I've wandered over, straddling the fence, and I'm cheering for the Titans this year too.
How good they going to look in those Oilers throwback too, man. I mean, that Oilers throwback uniform is going to be fire.
They shouldn't wear anything else ever.
I agree.
Be ready for disappointment, Wes.
Okay. Trust me, I'm used to that.
On Sundays for sure.
Jeremy, what you got, man?
I'm going to go with just, obviously I saw Quintavious Johnson this week. He's not highly ranked. Had never heard of the guy, a year ago. I'm just going to tell Georgia fans just to trust Kirby Smart and that staff's evaluation. That's kind of my thing for this week. Every guy that you see with an offer or committed, every one of those guys can play. Whether you've heard of them, where they have 5 stars, 6 stars, 3 stars, 1 star, 0 star, all those guys can play. And it's because Georgia does a good job of getting these guys on campus, going through and getting them to camp and seeing the traits that they need to see in order to decide what they want, to fit into whatever scheme they're trying to run. And they also, take some chances on some guys that, may take a little development. They're not afraid to develop guys and let them, sit a year or two. So, that's kind of my thing. Just, that's where I'm at. Just trust in the process, trust in the evaluation of this program. That's why they're back-to-back defending national championships, landing guys like this.
Trust the evals, man. Can't say it enough. Palmer?
So it's pretty rare that you get a little nugget from these players, but on Monday, talking to Tyke Smith, he came out and said somebody that's been having a really strong camp, really been coming along in camp, has been Julian Humphrey. And I'm excited to see him play on Saturday. Obviously, up in the air whether Kamari Lassiter plays, how much he plays, but even if he plays, there's a starting spot opposite of him that's up for grabs. And so Humphrey is one of those guys that that played in 3 games last year, redshirted, recorded 0 stats. So he's not the easiest to write about right now. But I mean, when you look at his game, and we talked about it a couple weeks ago, that speed, that track speed, just the way that he can fly. He's got the length to play corner. He's getting a lot of praise from his teammates. So I'm excited to see it because, like I said, it's not often that you get somebody singled out by one of these players.
All right, I'll take us home. I know y'all talked about it on Bark After Dark, producer Palmer in that role, but I'll chop wood about Sonny Seiler and just everything that guy meant. We're just losing all these legends, man. So you got to appreciate these people and what they meant to Georgia, what they did for the program. You're talking about the greatest mascot in college football. It's been voted upon time and time again, and UGA's always there. Georgia Tech wants to, petition. PETA wants to take away the dog, but Sonny Seiler is a damn good dog forever, and we don't have UGA without his contributions in keeping that tradition going. So chopping wood about that guy, man.